This is Bryan Payne, and if you think land flipping is just small deals and side hustle money, Bryan is about to completely rewrite that for you. Because Bryan doesn't flip houses, he flips dirt, vacant land that was overlooked, misunderstood, and the ridiculously profitable niche in real estate. No tenants, no toilets, no contractors blowing your budget, just clean deals with big spreads. And here's the punchline. In the last 90 days, Bryan put 13 land deals under contract. Not leads, not maybe deals, contracts. Now, let's do the math real quick. Bryan says the predictable land flips he targets are $10,000 to $20,000 profit per deal. So 13 contracts at $10,000 to $20,000 each, that's $130,000 to $260,000 in potential profit. Conservatively, that's over $150,000 in land flipping profit sitting in the pipeline. And the craziest part, he didn't do it by blasting a million call texts or sending stack mailers or gambling on volume. He did it by building a real system. Speed to lead, follow-up that actually happens, KPIs that don't lie, and a simple sales process that turns warm land sellers into signed contracts. He used to call leads back in 4 to 8 hours. Now, it's less than 2 to 5 minutes to an hour. Now, his conversion rate jumped from 50% to 80% because in land flipping, the winner isn't the loudest marketer that moves faster and follows up the longest. And one of the biggest mic drop moments is that a seller who was stuck at $350,000 ended up accepting $210,000. Not because Bryan was the highest offer, but because he was the most trustworthy, the most transparent, the most human, and the one that used the best sales process. How are people making real money flipping land? What does predictable pipeline really look like? And how do you stop doing random deals and start stacking contracts? This episode is going to be a blueprint. We're breaking down how his land flipping process from lead to contract to payday is, the KPIs, the two-call setup that he has to increase conversions, and why he's now building an AI gonna help you comp land fast. Let's dive in.
All right, so we got you here, Bryan. What's going on, man?
Oh, flipping land deals. So that's
I
mostly
love
what I
that.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, so you obviously have been having a good success and running paid ads with, with the new marketing that you're doing, but you've also been in the space for some time now, doing some land, and now you're getting some consistent leads and appointments and contracts. But tell us a little bit more about you before you started working with us. What did your business look like?
Yeah, gosh, I've been doing this for over 10 years. I started flipping houses, building custom homes, spec homes, needed more land for those, and then got into the land niche. And so really focusing on land flipping, land wholesaling, and then development deals. So mostly I've been, playing around with what everybody else does with mailers and cold calling and texting, and found that it worked to a point, but the leads just weren't as warm and excited to work with us as I was hoping for, and so I kept searching for different ways to acquire leads. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, how long you been in the space of real estate? And, before doing real estate, were you always an entrepreneur that doing land, or you started
No.
wholesaling? What's your story here?
Yeah, no, my degree was in construction management. So I worked as a project manager for other companies for years. And then 2016, started my own business flipping houses, didn't know what I was doing. And so I kind of fell forward and just made every mistake in the book and collected a lot of debt from, deals going south. And I realized I did a couple land deals then, and I made, a 30,000 profit on one, $80,000 profit on another flip, and I was losing money on my house flip. So it was hit or miss. So I was like, I need to pursue this some more. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you went into land, and so what was your how many deals were you closing before things changed and you started working with the Google ads and stuff? Like, what was your deal flow looking like, or what was your revenue in your business
Yeah.
was?
It was hit or miss, and obviously it's been up and down since COVID. And so we were probably averaging about one a month. And that was also bringing in some development deals. We'll do some subdivides. We'll cherry pick the good deals, but um, yeah, it was averaging about one a month.
One a month. And I'm assuming you were doing everything with cold calling and the traditional way of doing it, or what is it that was not really
Yeah.
working?
Yeah. So it really came down to a lot of us are, solopreneurs, or maybe we have a VA or two, helping out. And so there's only so much capacity we can handle. But then I think one of the biggest issues is you don't track everything as much as you should. And you don't take the time to fully complete um, each deal or each contact as well as you can, right? So
Mhm.
it's just going off of experience. You're going off what works for other people, and you're not really firing at 100%. So that was we again, like we would take leads in, we would get them under contract. It would take us forever to sell them, and then it might fall through. But it's like there was never that time spent nurturing the lead, following up, staying in contact, doing all the things that real businesses do. So that was part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when we met maybe about 3 months ago, let's just say, we created a game plan for you. And I
Hmm.
know that at the beginning you didn't have the full amount of funding to get it going with Google Ads, but
Yeah.
eventually you were able to get a traction because you understood the capability of and the thing that it can do for you. So you ended up taking, I think it was a funding partner loan, a small loan, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
In order to get started, right? But I mean, how long did you actually take from having to trying to figure it out, right? And until you actually took different methods and started doing different things. How long did it take you to get to that point?
Yeah. I mean, um, you guys really provided just a solution of consistent lead flow from a um, standpoint of not just, hey, here we're going to do, your lead flow for you. But we're actually going to, take leads, live transfer them, get them, build in that consistency. And so, I mean, just in the 3 months I've been working with you, I think um, we've done 13 deals under contract. And obviously, we're selling. We've closed two of those, and we've got so many more on the market, and we're trying to close more. So but it's like right away, you guys implemented KPIs, spreadsheets, follow-up calls, call tracking, number of dials, um, all of the actual data that helps us realize, where we're at in the process and who needs the work done. So
Nice. I mean, you've been in a few coaching programs and also you've been trying a few things.
yeah.
What made you feel that going with an agency, that a proven agency that had something going on was a better idea?
Yeah, I needed predictability and consistency, because obviously, I did get a small loan to help out to make sure this process worked. And cash flow is tough in this business, and that's most people deal with that. And it's a hard problem to break out of without consistency and predictability. And so by implementing that, it just helps know exactly how much is being spent every month. And then right now we keep improving, and so we keep dialing things in even more. So 3 months in,
Yeah.
month four is going to be the best yet. But just getting to a point to where it's going to be really predictable is the goal
Yeah.
for the year.
I'm just curious, and for the listeners here, for people that are listening and watching here in this
Yeah.
YouTube video, what mistakes were you making that you were not really realizing that were happening?
Oh gosh, a lot. Man, everything from just time to lead, like not contacting the lead, within 5 minutes, it changes everything. Leaving money on the table by negotiating a little bit more with sellers versus saying, as underwriters, we're underwriting this deal, and the numbers, the math says I need to go with this offer, and sticking with it.
Mm.
The deals that we actually have that type of communication with on, um, often get accepted quicker, and they're way less of an issue after acceptance. And so we were doing all that wrong. The language we were doing on the calls, the time to the calls, um, yeah, and then just follow up. There was pretty inconsistent follow up, so that was
Yeah.
huge. Yeah,
So so essentially, I mean, obviously it's not a cheap investment. It's
no,
actually a good amount of investment that you've had to do, right? And not everyone is prepared. But what was it that actually made it worth it? And essentially, some people invest and they try to seek for uh, fast returns, or some quick wins, or being able to get it as fast as possible to make it work, but they get frustrated and lose patience. What is it
yeah.
that you did differently that had a turning point inside of the business aside from getting good leads?
I think it's buy-in, like trust in the system, because like we have some of these deals we locked up and the cash is coming. And I have in buyers and we have closing dates set. And a couple of these deals are going to be $20,000 paydays. Some of them are going to be even more. And it's like the consistency and buying into just the system that you paid for. It's like
Mm,
um, trust in. For me, it was like I think I made the mistake before of being too scattered across too many different platforms.
mm,
And when I went with you guys, I kind of stopped everything and poured everything into one basket. And once the consistency, this is closing deals, multiple deals a month, then maybe I'll look at doing something else. But
yeah.
until then, it's buying into fully to the one system that we're
Yeah, and it's also kind of risky too, right? Because you were like shifting and then going all in, and
yeah.
being bought in, which is good.
Hmm.
It's a good thing, right? If you're in the right vehicle with the right people on the right
Correct.
channel and everything, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, what is it that changed everything? What were you skeptical about first? That you were like, you know what? I'm
Hmm.
assuming a few things, but they're wrong. Like,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of marketing companies out there, or a lot of lead generation channels, PPL. There's a lot of
Hmm.
ways to skin the cat, right? So, what is this that made you believe and think like we can do it?
Yeah. Well, I think all of us in real estate are go-getters. Otherwise, we wouldn't really be in this industry.
Yeah.
But I think the fear we still have is that we're not going to be able to do it all the way, or we won't be able to figure it out ourselves. And so the reason I went with you, and like everybody needs some type of support or accountability, especially as entrepreneurs. And so you guys, like amount of support you guys provided, I mean, down to scripts and all of the tracking, the follow-up coaching calls. I mean, it was weekly, and it was like this is the type of thing that keeps you on track, moving towards my goal, but also, my success is your success. And so I think it's great when you can partner with people that, really have your success in mind.
Nice. So tell me a little bit more about how it started, because I'm assuming that not everything starts at least on marketing, right? Not everything starts like good, unless everything was excellent and perfect. But tell me a little bit how it started, the first 30 days, 60 days. What are some of the changes, tweaks, campaigns, or decisions that shifted momentum towards like actually getting a lot of traction?
Yeah, I would say probably um, speed to lead as leads coming in, and then taking the live transfer calls from you guys for leads that are coming in. And then we really narrowed in, this is who we are, this is what our offering is. So that way we broke it into two different calls. We would take the discovery call, and then usually my VA does that. And I hired him through Remote Latinos, which you guys set up for me as well. So that was a blessing.
Nice.
So he takes, yeah, he takes those calls, and then basically says, you know, we're going to be underwriting this deal. Let me collect the info. We have the internal system. We verify the comps, and then we generate our offer really efficiently through our process, and then do a second call, and that's the offer call, and basically says, this is what the math shows. And again, in these calls, you're building rapport, relationship, but you're also making it very clear that we need to make these deals work for us, not just, you know, I'm going to throw an offer at you. It's,
Yeah.
and then they're really trying to appeal to that, so that they'll get an offer in the first place, and then they just hope that it will be a good one. But I think that really changed everything in the first 30 to 60 days, is really establishing that two offer call setup with these leads.
I love that. Can you give me 1 minute, Brian? I gotta get the door here
Go
real
for it.
quick.
Yeah.
1 sec. Oh my God.
Hey.
Sorry. Dude, man. My stomach is not feeling that great.
Oh, sorry to hear that, man.
That's fine. I had to go open the door, and then like I'm like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we can continue if you want
Sure.
to. All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's make it happen. So let's do once again, and let's go. So it seems like you doubled down really well into your sales process, and then you started seeing better results. Is that something that you did, and like, do you also apply that with other leads from other marketing
Yeah.
channels?
We did that with cold calling and texting as well. And we saw increase of leads, but those are, again, they're cold, and you're reaching out to people that just own a property. They don't necessarily have been thinking about selling at all. And so um, it's great with the pay-per-click leads, like when you know, really double down on every lead that's coming in wants to sell. And so it's a great starting point, whether they're just looking or they're in emergency mode. It's um, great to be able to talk with a warm lead.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, you said that these leads want to sell, and obviously this is more of a land campaign that you have. What type of sellers have you mostly get or you talk to whenever you're running online ads?
So the sellers usually, I mean, I targeted land leads, and you guys are actually able to tweak it the first month so that I got a couple house leads. Um, and one of them I actually took and sold, and so we made a little wholesale profit on that one. But you guys were able to refine the marketing and only bring me land leads. So they're usually distressed sellers that own vacant land, and looking for, you know, a way to turn it into cash. So
Okay. And so mostly what type of pain points these people actually are coming with?
um, it seems like we have several that have either a house is burned down and the land is vacant, or they've inherited the properties. Some are just, hey, times are tough right now, and I have this parcel next to my house that I'm never going to do anything with. Like, what can I get for it? And
Mm.
so it's a mixture, because people are realizing there's other ways to get cash than just jobs. And so I think there's, you know, land is a great asset for that.
No, I love that, man. So it sounds like before, of course, you had a good understanding on how to talk to seller,
Yeah.
but a lot of people underestimate the much needed work to be able to learn how to make it into a process. So what is it that you believe right now as you refining everything? So what is it that looks so simple from the outside, you coming before starting to actually optimizing your processes and sales and getting better leads, that was actually very critical behind the scenes?
Yeah, actually, I have a lot of experience. And so I think, like a lot of other investors, we tend to just rely on our experience and go with our gut. And, we know the numbers. Um, but I think what I loved about it was like just getting really real um, you know, with the data and saying, um, letting the data lead the decisions and whether it was number of leads, time to call back, um, the offer amounts, the days from getting a lead to getting a contract, just like really tracking all the KPIs, change it visually for us so we could actually see what the problems were to do something about it.
Nice. So let's talk about that more, the no hype, just real numbers, right?
Yeah.
What changed, um, like the numbers that you currently have? What are those looking like with the current campaigns that you're currently running?
Yeah. So we have, like I said, we've gotten like 13 deals under contract right now, and we've gone from like a 52% um, conversion rate to an 80% conversion rate. And we went from, getting back with leads in like a 4 to 8 hour window to getting back with them in about, a 5 minute to an hour window. And so, but again, we know that because we're actually tracking it. And then also, like one of your coaches helped us understand. My VA was kind of the small talk villain, as it were. And so he would make a little too much small talk versus following the script and then presenting the number and then staying silent. And so it was like having you guys even review our recorded calls, um, helped us realize within the call itself, we could really tighten it up and actually make each call more efficient. So just
Mm,
increasing chances of success that much more.
nice.
Yeah.
When was your first contract? Do you have it in your first month, second month? How fast do you get it?
I think it was within 2 weeks. Yeah.
Within 2 weeks?
Yeah.
You're already closing that one?
Yeah. And that one was the house. And so it was
Okay.
like we made like a $2,500 wholesale on that one, and then closed another um, land deal that was like 6,800.
Okay, okay.
So those
So
were
right
the
now,
first quick ones. Yeah.
yeah, right now, so you had quick ones at the beginning. I'm
Hmm.
assuming you were trying to get some traction on
Yep.
cash.
Yep.
But what's gonna be the actual size per deal that you'd be looking to get and attain?
The average for the predictable ones will be between 10 to 20 grand per deal. And
Okay,
so
nice.
we have another buyer that's locked up right now. It'll be the third deal, and that'll be about 22,000.
Nice.
Yeah.
So tell me more about, the business itself. How does it look like right now compared to before?
Um, yeah, I guess a lot more certainty now than before. There's so many weird things happening in the market, and more investors I talk about are kind of negative. And it's like, you've got to make the change. Like, the market is the market, and you decide whether you are going to overcome it and figure this out for what works for you, or just keep being underneath of it and hoping whatever you did before works. I like I think innovation and getting creative is the only way to win in real estate. And so I think every year, if not every quarter, you should really evaluate what's working and what's not, and keep adjusting to the market. I think that's huge.
Nice. Was there anything that felt kind of heavy before, that it used to be feel heavy, but now it's or chaotic, but now it's much easier?
Um, yeah, not having any cash, right?
Of course.
But yeah, I think it's like, we've got, we've already closed a couple deals and we've got, over 10 more to go and more offers going out today. And it's like, just running through the system now with more qualified leads, better offers, um, makes me have to look at the disposition side of my company and improve that now because we're scaling and we're doing more deals. And so
Yeah.
um, that feels like a huge weight off to be able to have that problem. Yeah.
When you said 50 to 80% conversion, was that from the amount of leads that you're getting or the amount of appointments or contract to close deal? Like what was that
That
conversion?
was leads to close contracts. Yeah.
Oh wow. Man,
Yeah.
that's huge. So
Yeah.
how many leads have you generated? Do you know so far? How many have you generated so far?
Yeah, I have that all on the KPIs, right? Like, I can tell you, we have about total number of leads is about 100.
100 and
Hmm.
that's and
Just in
13
3 months. Yeah.
100 and also 13 contracted basically.
Yeah. And of course, the first month or two, we were figuring things out a lot. So a lot of it came from just the last month here and really narrowing in our systems. So
Oh, nice. Well,
yeah,
so what would you say is like um, looking back, what are the best practices or things that do you want to keep doing better? And you know that a lot of people do.
yeah.
Um,
I
are there?
I think my best practices too for, I mean, whether you're doing houses or land, it's like people just want volume, volume, volume. And it's
Yeah.
um, like the 100 leads we've got, I can actually put time into um, and convert them on a higher rate now than I would get 100 leads in a week before, and that was so stressful and so many like opportunities that you have to navigate. It's like you're weeding through people versus knowing every lead is going to be warmer and actually worth your
Mm.
time. um, and so that's a game changer for me, and I think it would be for a lot of people in the business.
So you wasted a lot of time in getting a lot of time and money in getting a lot more volume
Yep.
rather than quality
Quality, exactly. Yeah.
and learning how to convert quality leads,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Uh, what I know you're having good success and in honestly in 90 days you have learned a lot.
Yeah.
But what would you say is one of the biggest objections that you still are you still need to overcome with these sellers that they give you?
Yeah. It always comes down to price, like you can do everything right at the end of the day. Um, but really it comes down to price and making sure our offers are going to be at a point where they'll be accepted. But most of the time, you don't want them accepted anyways, right up front. It's the ones that come back to you a week or two later that say, okay, yeah, I'm ready to accept that now because I have checked with other people and they've called around, but we provided the best service, the best conversations, and one of my biggest deals right now under contract is um, it's worth probably close to 400,000, and she didn't want to go below 350, and
Hmm.
she accepted my offer for 210,000.
Wow.
So it's like, and and she had two offers that were higher, but I just stood my ground and said, this is the math, and we would love to work with you, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. Like, and um, it's she came back to me and said, I just appreciate working with you better than them,
Mm.
and we're going to go with your offer. You've
So
given me the most
okay.
certainty. Yeah.
So tell me, what is it that you did inside of in the sales process, in the back end sales process, in the sales process that uh, gave that certainty to that seller and made them prefer you over the competition that is even higher?
Yeah, it came down to like like I didn't have any more than like 10-minute calls. Like there was 10-minute calls, right? And so that was morning call. My VA wasn't working. I took the appointment and just made personal connection with her, and I found out where she was at, how to relate to her. Um, in my script, found her pain point, and wanted to make sure we met the need for her pain point. And
Hmm.
so hers was, she inherited the property. The property is in the wrong place. They wanted to be on the other side of town. And so they could sell this property and buy something else with it. But
Hmm.
until then, the capital is just tied up in the property. And so,
Mm.
we were able to say, yeah, here's the deal. We were fully transparent with her. We may or may not be the end buyer, but we will find an end buyer if it's not us to assign the contract to, and make sure we get this closed in 6 months or less. And so she was really, happy to hear that. And some other guys were like, we'll give you a little more and we'll close in 7 days. But she's like, they just seem sketchy, And so, um, we tried to really hear her and then meet the need. So
Was it a virtual? It was virtual, or you did a Zoom call with them, or what
no,
was it?
just over the phone. Yeah.
Just over the
All,
phone.
yeah.
Okay. And so over the phone, you were able to like transfer that conviction
Yeah.
and transfer that trust.
Yeah.
That's good. That's impressive. So what do you think the other competitors didn't have?
Yeah. I mean, I think they probably did everything over the phone too. And it was probably 7 days from our first call to being under contract with her. Um, but I think it was really, just like you just gotta let people know you're human, like I think everybody, when they're ran through a process, they know it. And in this world of AI, like if AI doesn't help you come across as more human or engage with people better, like then I wouldn't use it. Um, and I think
Yeah.
there's just too much of that automation going on that people are losing the connection.
Yeah, for sure. One thing that also has helped some other clients, you're going to be part of this too, is um, so in order to connect with a human and be human, you have to do it on the emotional level.
Hmm.
Um, and that's why you were able to win, in my opinion. Now,
Yeah,
because us humans are, emotional human beings, and we want to really connect and feel trust and so
we
on.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. So NEPQ is the system, the methodology that we're going to start, having inside of the business. It's called neuro emotional persuasion questioning, and I'm
Yeah,
not sure
cool.
if you're familiar with
I've
it.
heard of it. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to start doing it. So, all right. So, last few things, brother. Uh, what has the way that you think about your business changed now?
I feel like I can get out of the trenches a bit and start to look at a high level view of the business, and really focus on being an owner, not just the operator. And so that's been huge for me. And now I'm building out. I have time to research more really cool platforms, and I'm going to be putting out an actually an AI comp tool for
Mhm.
land that's going to be available to other investors, and it's going to really add value, to
Nice.
my own business, but it'll be available to other people too. So
Nice, man. So
yeah.
what do you think beginners usually obsessed over that doesn't really matter?
Um, I mean, obviously, the fear of this, is this even going to work? Um, but I think when you have good-hearted people aligned with really good processes and kind of a mindset of we're not going to give up, it's actually harder to fail than
Mm,
if you just test the waters. Um, so I think it's better to dive in with a proven system versus um, just keep throwing money at Facebook ads or lists or mailers or whatever it is. It's like go
yeah,
the pro-
absolutely.
go the proven routes. Yeah.
What will be one thing that most people are not willing to do that actually works that now you're realizing you're gonna have to go all in?
Um, Yeah, well, I mean, after 3 months, I've already figured out a way to increase my marketing budget. So I'm going to be spending more on Google Ads, and the VA is going to full time. And, um, I'm actually going to hand off 100% of the lead intake to him. And um, it's going to be fun. So I'm excited. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, man. What keeps you motivated though? What keeps you going and worth, pushing
Yeah.
even though things were.
I mean, yeah, I love doing something different every day. And so it excites me knowing that the business now has a positive projection and I actually get to continue improving it, and not just, software for my business, but that'll help other people. Um, you know, I'm a praying person and I love, you know, uh, the Lord keeps me going, just from there's always hope and there's always someone else I can help out. And so, yeah, I guess that's truly what it is. I have a lot of goals and dreams and things for my family, and this is part of it. So this is going to help us get there.
Nice, man. I love that. Thank you so much for being part of
Yeah,
this Entrepreneurs podcast, man. So that means that you're gonna be creating an AI tool. Are you gonna be able to drop it in this YouTube channel whenever it's done, and maybe
yeah, I
push
will.
people
I'll
in?
post it in when it's ready. Yeah, we're
We'll
using
drop
it
it in the
internally.
comments.
Yeah,
We'll
absolutely.
drop it in the comments. Nice. It will be nice to see, man. I'd love to see if you can also drop it for the rest of our entrepreneurs community and
Of
clients that
course.
we have and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
I'll be
I'll make it
yeah,
free. And also, we know that there's a lot of house flippers too that get land deals that don't know what to do with them, and we want to make sure they still profit from those deals. So it'll
yeah.
be a cool system to help.
I love that, brother. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, man. So again, we had Bryan Payne right here. And if you like this interview, if you like this episode, just hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel, give us a review on Spotify, Audible, whatever it is that you're listening to this. And if you have any questions or you want to reach out to Bryan, how can people actually find you?
Yeah, look up landmadeeasy.com, and you can get in contact with me directly through there.
I love that. All right. Thank you so much, Bryan. And thank you for being part of this episode of the Entrepreneurs. And I'll see
Awesome.
you next time.
Sounds good. Thanks, Esteban.
All right. That sounds good, bro.
Cool.
That's
Thank you.
good.
I
I
know you're
appreciate
probably
it.
not feeling great, so
I know, man. It's funny. Now I'll have to tell the editor that midway the interview, I had to run.
yeah. Well, and tell my son too. Like, you got to cut that out
Oh,
too.
yeah, your
Yeah.
son as well. But it's okay. All right,
Yeah.
brother. Thank you so much, man.
Sounds good, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a good one. Bye.
You too.